Episode 2, Week 2. The setup is in the notes below. And here is a list of roughly what's going to be in this week's video. I've been getting the information about the Octopus Agile Tariff two ways. One is to go onto my desktop and get the information like this, which gives you a nice visual insight as well as the costs. And the other way is to get an email using the IFTT API system. But this is quite tedious as you just get a massive list of what's going on. And this makes it quite difficult to set up the timers and things on my hot water in the car. So I came across the Octopus Energy Watchdog app. This isn't affiliated at all with Octopus Energy, but it is a really good app and I can really recommend it if you're on the Octopus Agile Tariff. It gives you a nice visual, just like the desktop, but in the palm of your hand. And it also gives you some red lines on the graph, which helps you to find the right times and also the costs at them times. You can also get a visual of how you've used the energy over the last 30 days, and this gives you a kilowatt hour reading and also the cost over the last 30 days. But I found at times this can be a little inaccurate, but I'll report more on this when I've got some more information. So yeah, really good app that helps you to set your timers up off your mobile device. The mileage on the car this week has rose to 2,146 miles. And as you can see in the first column on the purple line, that's what goes in there. The second purple line of 93 miles. And finally the third purple line, which gives us a total of 285 miles. The generation meter is up to 29024 kilowatt hours. So we'll put that in the first green line. The second green line of 11 kilowatt hours, that's all we've generated this week. And the total kilowatt hours is 35. And we still don't have any feed-in tariff, so that's going to be 0. And we've put just over 3 kilowatts into the My Energy solar diverter. I do have a bit of an issue with what time the actual My Energy resets itself for the week. The import reading is 3,451 kilowatt hours on the import meter. That's the first blue column. And the total used for the week is 414 kilowatt hours. So that is a little bit lower than last week. That's in the second blue column. And the total used kilowatt hours over the 2 weeks is 860 kilowatt hours. That's in the third blue column. And I'm still waiting on Octopus Energy for the cost per weeks, but that should be with us quite soon now. We still have a difference on the Tesla app, but I have been contacted by Tesla and I think they're looking into why this might be. That's just on the import, so that's what we draw from the grid. And it's reading 421 kilowatts. The powerwall, what we pulled from the powerwall is 81.7 kilowatts. And the home usage has been 420 kilowatt hours. I did charge the car on Monday. I topped it up on Thursday, ready for the night shifts. And we also topped it up again on the Sunday. We've had a poor week on the solar generation of just 11.8 kilowatts. On Monday, we used 72.1 kilowatts from the grid and nothing going back. 11.9 kilowatts came from the Powerwall, with just 0.6 kilowatts from the solar, and the house usage was 71.9 kilowatts. On Tuesday, we pulled 63.8 kilowatts from the grid, and nothing went back to the grid that day, which suggests that we didn't put anything into the My Energy Eddi. And I say that because we require 100 watts going back to the grid before the My Energy actually kicks in. That's the way I've set it up. From the Powerwall, we got 13 kilowatt hours, only 0.5 kilowatt hours from the solar, which again confirms that nothing really went back to the Eddi device. And we pulled and the house usage was 63.7 kilowatt hours. On Wednesday, we pulled 51.8 kilowatt hours from the grid, and 0.1 kilowatt hours went back to the grid. From the Powerwall, we pulled 11.5 kilowatt hours. 1.5 kilowatt hours came from the sun, and the house usage was 50.9 kilowatt hours. And on Thursday, the grid pull was 63.4 kilowatt hours. From the Powerwall was 13.5 kilowatt hours, and another poor day again at only 0.5 kilowatt hours from the sun or from the solar, and the grid usage was 62.7 kilowatt hours. On Friday, we had a better day from the solar at 5.1 kilowatt hours, so I think that's where most of our energy went back into the My Energy device, because the Powerwall was already full from charging up from the grid on the cheap rate. And we pulled 53.4 kilowatt hours from the grid, 12.2 kilowatt hours came from the Powerwall, and the home usage was 56.4 kilowatt hours. On Saturday, if you've noticed, we didn't pull very much from the Powerwall, only 9.9 kilowatt hours. And this is mainly because we didn't use any energy on the peak time, so it never fully discharged. And we pulled 51.7 kilowatt hours from the grid, 1.3 kilowatt hours from the solar, and the home usage was 48.1 kilowatt hours. And finally, Sunday, we pulled 65.7 kilowatt hours from the grid and 0.1 going back to the grid. Again, the Powerwall didn't fully discharge at 9.8 kilowatt hours. We pulled 2.2 kilowatt hours from the sun, and the home usage was 66.3 kilowatt hours. Now, I'm just wondering how long it'll take for the AI of the Powerwall to actually realise it's not fully discharged and start discharging in the partial peak time. So that'll be interesting to keep an eye on over the next few weeks. And as for the month of January, the information is building up quite nicely, and as you can see now, the Christmas period is over. Our usage has gone down a bit. And here's just another app that I'm using as well, called the Powerwall Companion. This is a Microsoft app, so you might be able to find this on your app store. And this actually shows you when and how much you're using of your Powerwall. And as you can see, this is the 2 days that we were not using the Powerwall completely. And finally, the gas usage for the week was 7.39 kilowatt hours. I'd just like to say a big thanks for taking interest into the videos, and please like and subscribe.